In example 3, James is building a fence around his house. There is an existing section of fence of 40 feet that is already built. James can build 10 feet of fence per hour. Ooh, that's a rate, so you should look at that word per and remember it. 10 feet of fence per hour. Graph this function using this equation. We've got f at t is equal to 10t plus 40. The 40 is the beginning amount, so the 40 here is the feet that's already built. And then we're building 10 feet of fence per hour. So what this person left out is we're going to let t equal per hour. So those are going to be the hours of work, or just hours. So let t equal hours that James has spent building the fence here. Remember that it's 10 feet per hour, so if it's like 2 hours, this would be 20 plus 40, or 60. So we know that f at t, the output, is going to be in feet of fence. And that's the total amount. So if you wanted to write total here, you could. Total amount of fence. Remember that he only builds 10 feet of fence an hour, but he's already starting at 40. There's an existing section. Maybe he worked yesterday, or maybe it's just a fence that's standing at the house. Who really knows? Let's find f at 4. Remember that this 4 is the t, and that's how many hours. So the question here is like, after 4 hours, how much fence is built? So if we do f at 4, we've got 10 times 4 plus 40. And this is 40 plus 40, which is 80 feet of fence. So f at 4 would mean the amount of fence in feet after 4 hours of building. And that makes sense. If James can do 10 feet per hour, that'd be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 40. And repeated addition is multiplication. That's why you see it here being multiplied. And then we just add the 40 that's already there. So 40 and 40 is 80. Totally makes sense. Find t when f at t is 480. So now we have, and this should be an f over here. I'm seeing that right now. I want you to change that. So now we have the output is 480 feet. And we want to know how many hours it takes. So actually we could write that here. What does f at t equal 480? It means how many hours would James have to build to have 480 feet of fence? Sure. So remember, that's the output. It's 480 feet of fence, and you could list that as well. But that is the meaning of this statement right here, and what we're doing on the left-hand side when we find t. We're finding how many hours James would have to build to have 480 feet of fence. So 480 is equal to 10t plus 40. We'll subtract 40 from each side. So that's 440 is equal to 10t. We'll move this up just a touch. And then we'll divide by 10. So t would be 44. Remember, 44 is, or the t is in hours, so we want to try to list our unit here. So we've got 44 hours. In 44 hours, so if he works for 44 hours, a good long work week, or maybe even if he's working pretty hard, he could maybe do this in 3 days, maybe 4 days. So it will take him 44 hours to build, or at least to have 480 feet.